we're gonna do tutorials to try to learn how to play this game and make stuff. I'm gonna try to test out this microphone. If this microphone works and stuff, then I will use it. Will it work? I don't know. It's very early. Why am I streaming this early? What's up, John Thomas? Can you hear me okay? John Thomas, the gamer. We're gonna learn how to sculpt. Should you buy a smart TV? You should buy a 4K HDR TV. Good, he says yes.
In this lesson, I'll show you how to sculpt your own objects from scratch using the motion controllers, which will come in handy because
I haven't even made anything on this yet. I'm still doing tutorials. I just don't want my brain to get overloaded
we can use the
with
tools in
information.
mode to help get Connie to Cuthbert and escort him to safety. Before starting this tutorial, I'd recommend you complete Start Dreaming for motion controllers if you haven't already.
Should get a Hisense 4K HDR TV. They're pretty cheap.
So you can focus on becoming a sculpting master. First, make sure that you're sitting comfortably in front of your PlayStation camera. Now hold the Start button for a few seconds to calibrate your imps.
You found a free
Next,
TV?
hold the T button
Oh,
on
Fire
your secondary
TV.
motion controller to open the assembly menu.
What? I'm
Use
not.
your primary imp, the one with the...
Hold on. I'm not using Sony dildo sticks. Sculpt tutorial for. We don't want to do this. I'm not going to use the motion controllers on this game until Sony upgrades them. Skip that one. We'll learn character creation. What's up, Steven? The good dog, yes. Yeah, I expect Sony to update their motion controllers and their VR probably before the PS5. I bet their new headset and stuff will come out. But I probably expect Dreams to let us sculpt and stuff inside of Dreams, because it's very good to sculpt in virtual reality. Actually, you can get very accurate with these Sony dildo sticks. We're skipping all the motion controller stuff because I'm not going to use them for this game. I'm just saying. That's my feedback, Media Molecule. Tell Sony to upgrade the dildo sticks. Insignia 1080p, Smart TV, Amazon. Dude, you should get a 4K TV. All these systems, unless you don't have like a Xbox One X or PS4 Pro, or like if you're planning on getting the next consoles and stuff, I'd just get a 4K TV. Okay, time to learn some art. This is my art class. 140, but if you took another 140, you could get a nice 4K HDR TV. I'm gonna make comic book people on here. Not today, but I gotta learn stuff. I'm gonna make Skeletor, Castle Grayskull, superheroes.
Of course, Cuthbert's no use, so let's see if we can come up with something to impress her. Head into the dressing room, also known as edit mode, to get started.
She did not like those characters.
In this tutorial, we'll be customizing the appearance of a puppet. So we'll need a blank canvas to start.
Yeah, if you
Go
even
to the assembly menu and open the
Hold
Gadgets
on, let me
menu.
make this guy stop talking. If you have like already have a S, look up Hisense TVs. They're like huge in the eastern countries. They're trying to compete with the bigger name TVs, but make them more affordable and stuff. I have a 60-inch 4K HDR TV, and it works freaking amazing. I also used to have a 50-inch too, and they work very, very good. Um, I mean, if you want to spend like 3,000, get like OLED and all that crap, like top of the line, then that's another story. But Hisense, look at Hisense because for a little bit more money, you could get a very good TV. And I also recommend just waiting till Black Friday because you can get them for probably half the price. Okay, that's all I got to say about that.
Now open the Gameplay Gear menu. In here, find the Blank Puppet Deluxe. The deluxe version is the perfect starting point for making characters. Select it with X and a blue mannequin will appear on your imp. It has built-in features like jump and possession animations, which the basic version doesn't have. Connie won't be impressed by a basic puppet, so make sure you select the right one. Stamp the deluxe puppet in the scene with R2 or X. Get its feet roughly on the floor, but make sure they aren't
I don't know about the Toshiba and stuff. I'd have to look it up on like Amazon or something. I'm just like thinking about the price and stuff. Hisense is a good value TV, cheap.
intersecting with it. Then press the circle button to unequip the puppet from your imp. If you need to, you can grab and adjust the puppet with R2. In the next step, we'll start exploring the puppet's inner workings.
So this can be all about the Puppet Master, controlling your puppets. So I'm pretty sure what you do before, like I don't know a lot about this game, like most, I don't know anything about it, but from what I've seen, you can put whatever you want on this puppet. Like I could sculpt a skull or something and put it here and make him be like Skeletor or some crap. Um, I don't know. That's why we're learning today. I'm just doing tutorials.
The puppet might look simple, but it's quite a complex gadget. So let's get to know it a little better. It's made up of many objects that have been grouped together. And just like any other group, it can be scoped into. Hover over the puppet with your imp, press and hold L1, and then press X to scope in. Below the puppet, you will now see its base and its logic microchip.
Nice.
If they're obscured by the floor, you may need to scope out and adjust your puppet's position. The puppet's body is made of sculptures, joined together with connectors. When scoped in, we can grab parts of the puppet to change its pose. Before we do that, find the
Puppet
button
Master.
called Puppet Mirror in the context menu. Select this button with X, and your puppet will stay symmetrical when you pose it. Of course, you don't have
Jumping
to make
jacks.
it symmetrical, but it's a good way to start. You can always add nuance later. When you move a part of the puppet,
$329 for which one?
all the parts connected to it will also move. The root of the puppet is the pelvis, and every other part is connected in a hierarchy from there. For example, moving the upper arm will move the lower arm and the hand as well. But if you move the pelvis, the whole puppet will move. Its feet will try to stay in contact with the floor. So if you lower the pelvis, the puppet's knees will bend.
Teabag.
You can also rotate parts by grabbing them with L2. Use R2 and L2 to create a new pose for the puppet. Changing the pose can be a great starting point for a character. The pose could be confident, sad, scared, or aggressive. Don't forget, you can undo any changes with the left directional button.
Toshiba. Yeah, I just got a Hisense TV.
Use the grab cam to adjust your pose from different angles. Just hold R1 over the puppet to activate it. When you've finished posing your puppet, move on to the next step.
R1? What? We could have her puppet like this. Oh, that's creepy. How do I get him back? Houston, we have a problem. I want his... Oh, jeez. How do I get him? Oh. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. This does not look human. Do you like my puppet? I'm not trying to upsell you. I'm just saying that, I mean, I have Hisense. Like, I don't know a lot about the other TVs and stuff. I know there's some good TVs out there and crap, but I just know from my experience at like, I have got a 60-inch 4K HDR TV. I paid, at Black Friday, I paid like $350 for it. And it looks and sounds freaking amazing. And it's a smart TV. It's got like all the features and Kodi and all that stuff. So it was just a really, really good value. So I'm just trying to give advice. Definitely wait for Black Friday. If you see some Hisense, you'll get super cheap. And then, like if you wanted a better one, TVs go down like almost half price on Black Friday. It's crazy. It's usually the number one thing people try to sell. Okay, so you can press left on the D-pad to we'll go back. This looks like a Tool video. Oh my god, I could remake the whole Tool video in Dreams if I wanted. That would be awesome. We'll make him excited.
Now we've posed our puppet, we can start adjusting its proportions. To do that, we're going to use the stretch tool. Go to the assembly menu, then open the tools menu. Select the stretch tool. It's the one that looks like a double-ended arrow. The stretch tool works like the move tool in a lot of ways. But with the stretch tool, you can move parts of the puppet beyond the limits of the connectors. Try grabbing and moving the puppet's head.
Oh.
Notice the way the neck elongates and shortens. Now try it on the hands.
We're definitely making the tool
This
video
changes the length of the upper and lower arm.
after I learn more. I'll put his
Some
head.
body parts respond differently to the stretch tool.
I'll put his head
For
right here.
instance, if you move the upper arms, the shoulders will broaden and the chest will expand. You can also scale parts of the puppet using the up and down directional buttons.
What did he say?
I don't
How do I get
also
chest
scale
expand?
parts of the puppet. For instance, if you move the upper arms, the shoulders will broaden and the chest will expand. You can also scale parts of the puppet using the up and down directional buttons. I'd only recommend doing this to the puppet's extremities though, the head, hands and feet. Puppets are delicate contraptions, and extreme scaling and stretching can make them behave unexpectedly. But if anything does go skew with, just undo it using the left directional button. If you know how to use sculpt mode, you could try scoping into the individual body parts to change their shape. You can find a whole tutorial on sculpting in the art tutorials. Have a play around with stretching and scaling and see what you can create. Try making the puppet more cartoony or turn it into a monster. Test out your puppet in play mode to see it in motion.
Okay, let's try. That'll be fun messing with these puppets. He's so happy. Why is there girl shit in here? Oh wait, we need it. We can jump. Oh my god, I'm gonna fall. He's dead. What's up, Steven? Yeah, you'll see a big difference when you get a 4K TV.
When you're done, return to edit mode. Rewind time with L3 to get your puppet back in position. In the next step, I'll show you how to color and stylize your puppet.
Yes, color. Yeah, I don't see 8K being around for a while. But I have 4K TVs are cheap enough now that it's kind of the normal thing to get a 4K TV. Oh yeah.
Another way of customizing your puppet's appearance is by changing its color. We can do this by tinting it in coat mode. If you've played my tutorial on coat, style and effects, you'll already know how to do this.
I forgot.
In the assembly menu, go to the modes menu and enter coat mode. In the coat mode menu, open the colors menu and select a color for your puppet.
Wait, what menu?
And enter coat mode.
I don't know what he pressed up there.
If you've played my tutorial on coat, style and effects, you'll already know how to do this. In the assembly menu, go to the modes menu and enter coat mode.
Coat mode.
In the
Found it.
Coat mode menu, open the colors menu and select a color for your puppet.
What color should I make this person? John Thomas, a gamer. Dude, I'm not high class. That's why I budget everything, because I'm far beyond being rich. I'm always poor. That's why I suggest that TV if you get one, because it's very well worth the price. Red? Okay, you get to help me make this puppet, John Thomas. Okay, I think we do that then. I think we get his airbrush on. There, he's red. Okay, let's keep going.
Now hover over your puppet and hold R2 to tint it with your selected color. The longer you hold R2, the stronger the tint will become. If you want your puppet to be multicolored, simply scope into the puppet. Select a different color from the colors menu.
Oh, do you want him to have Nintendo red? What's Nintendo's other color? Blue? Do you want him to have blue pants or something? I need to practice scoping. Scope. I forgot how to scope. That's changing his whole. It's changing his whole body. We went back red. Let me figure out how to scope. How did he do it? These tutorials are pretty cool. They're just right there on the screen. You can follow step by step, and also other dream creators are making tutorials on how to make different stuff, so it's already a very cool community. A lot of the Project Spark people came over here. Phil shut down Project Spark and they all bought PlayStation 4s to play this game. Because we like making games.
Select a different color from the colors menu. Hover your imp over a part of the puppet you want to tint. How about the head? Now, when you press and hold R2, just that part of the puppet will be tinted.
I call bullcrap. I try to make his pants blue. It's like... Did I miss something? If I click on any part of his body... Oh, scope. How do we scope? I forgot what button I use to scope. I gotta rewind tutorial. I forgot how to scope.
Your puppet. If you've played my tutorial on coat, style and effects, you'll already know how to do this.
I don't have the collection,
menu,
I have
go
part
to
4
the
though.
modes menu and enter coat mode. In the coat mode menu, open the colors menu and select a color for your puppet. Now hover over your puppet and hold R2 to tint it with your selected color. The longer you hold R2, the stronger the tint will become. If you want your puppet to be multicolored, simply scope into the puppet. Select a different color from the colors menu.
I don't believe what this dude's
Hover
saying.
your imp over a part of the puppet you want to tint. How about the head? Now, when you press and hold R2, just that part of the puppet will be tinted.
See, when I
You
do
can
it,
also use the tools in Style Mode and Effects Mode. Try using Style Mode to change the texture of your puppet. If you don't know how to use Style Mode, there's an art tutorial which can help you.
dang it.
In the next
I can't do certain parts, it's doing the whole thing.
Try using Style Mode to change the texture of your puppet. If you don't,
I'll rewind the whole thing.
you can also use the tools in Style Mode and Effects Mode. Now we've posed our puppet, we can start adjusting its proportions. To do that, we're going to use the Stretch tool. Go to the Assembly menu, then open the Tools menu.
Oh, I don't have it.
Select the
I
Stretch
don't have the
tool.
collection.
It's the one that looks like a double-ended arrow.
Wait, what do you
The
say?
Stretch tool works like the
Stretch.
Move tool in a lot of ways.
I just got
But
Uncharted
with
4
the
because it was
Stretch tool,
$5 at
you can move
GameStop.
parts of the puppet beyond the limits of the connectors. Try grabbing and moving the puppet's head. Notice the way the neck elongates and shortens. Now try it on the hands. This changes the length of the upper and lower arm. Some body parts respond differently to the Stretch tool. For instance, if you move the
He's
upper
all
arms,
shiny now.
the shoulders will broaden and the chest will expand.
Made him shiny.
You can also scale parts of the puppet using the up and down directional buttons. I'd only recommend doing this to the puppet's extremities though, the head, hands and feet. Puppets are delicate contraptions, and extreme scaling and stretching can make them behave unexpectedly. But if anything does go skew-whiff, just undo it using the left directional button. If you know how to use Sculpt Mode, you could try scoping into the individual body parts to change their shape. You can find a whole tutorial on sculpting in the art tutorials.
I get out of paint.
Have a play around with stretching and scaling and see what you can create. Try making the puppet more cartoony or turn it into a monster. Test out your puppet in play mode to see it in motion.
Volume brush?
When you're done, return to edit mode. Rewind time with L3 to get your puppet back in position. In the next step, I'll show you how to color and stylize your puppet.
I don't know how to get back to the other tool stuff. I forget. Oh, they have a redo button. That's nice. I'm gonna make them shiny again. Okay. Oh, hold L1 and circle. volume brush. I want him to glow. Oh, that looks cool, actually. He looks like a gummy worm. He looks like a gummy bear. Give it boobs. I'll see if I can. I don't know a lot about this game, but we'll see if we can do that. That would be sculpt. Jeez, John Thomas. They need to be red, correct? Okay, that's my first time making anything, but we're still in a tutorial. Oops. Hold on. Okay, we went. This thing that sucks is I'm so used to Project Spark and the controls are kind of opposite. Resize, okay. Why is that faded and... Oh crap. I don't know why that fades everything else out. Um, we'll just go with this. I don't even know if that attaches to your character. I don't know how to attach it. So there you go. They attach to each other. That's probably in a different tutorial. The boobs are not attaching. We did try though. Maybe they did. Let's test it. No, give me my boobs. Yeah, I don't know how to attach stuff yet, so we'll just leave those there for now.
Another way of customizing your puppet's appearance is by changing its color. We can do this by tinting it in coat mode. If you've played my tutorial on coat, style and effects, you'll already know how to do this. In the assembly menu, go to the modes menu and enter coat mode. In the coat mode menu, open the colors menu and select a color for your puppet. Now hover over your puppet and hold R2 to tint it with your selected color.
I don't know how to color different parts, is what I'm trying to figure out.
The longer you hold R2, the stronger the tint will become. If you want your puppet to be multicolored, simply scope into the puppet. Select a different color from the colors menu. Hover your imp over a part of the puppet you want to tint. How about the head? Now, when you press and hold R2, just that part of the puppet will be tinted.
I'm silly too.
You can also use the tools in Style Mode and Effects Mode. Try using Style Mode to change.
Okay, my dog's going crazy. Style mode and effects mode. We can make him wavy. Watch this. Because he is a sculpture, correct? That did nothing. Throb. I'll see what this does. Hey, he did say sculpt on there. Let's see how he did that. Those are sculpt animations. Hey, I'm stuck. I'm still in the tutorial, so I haven't even made nothing yet. Okay, so we're trying to get these two circles to be boobs. These two, we're trying to connect it right there. And I'm also trying to paint different parts of the body. But when I choose paint, it makes me paint the whole thing. Lucid Stew is a genius. um, yeah, it gets weird on this channel. See, check this out. If I try to... Oops. If I try to paint... That's not what I wanted. Coat mode. If I try to paint this, we want it blue, right, John Thomas? See, if I try to paint just the head blue, like his pants blue or something, it paints the whole thing instead of one color. Watch. See, I don't want it to paint the whole thing. I just want like the shoes blue or something. That's what I thought. It doesn't let me select individual parts, so see if I hover over that, it's selecting the whole sculpture puppet, not just parts, even if I'm like zoomed way in. It makes no sense. We're Xboxer. Hey, I'd probably still be Xboxer if they put Project Spark back up there. That's why I'm on PlayStation now. Do I need to be not in... Where's the menu? Do I need to not be in coat mode and maybe be in paint mode? We'll try that. I want blue. See, I can't see. I think... Ugh, that can't be right. That's just for paint crap. We don't want to do that. Coat mode. I'm getting my PS4 running on remote play right now so I can help you. Cool. Awesome. I am just in a tutorial also. Um, I wonder if maybe if it's because I made these boobs, possibly. Of course, I need to know this because I am gonna for sure be making puppets and characters and stuff, but I do, I've got to know this. Maybe it's a bug. The pen is blue. It's blue. Where's my vape? Shut up, dog. What is this? Square. What the hell is that? Shiny blue. What is the square? What is going on? Let's get out of that. The square is back. Code mode. Where did the square come from? What is going on? Oh, maybe it's because of this volume brush. It was the volume brush. Okay, let's see what happens now. Still selecting the whole character. If I move my imp. Are these called imps? First click R3. Okay, R3's click. Get out of test. Okay. Oh, that was my brush. Okay, should I go back in edit mode? I need to attach these boobs to, like, after we figure out paint. Okay, edit mode. See, I'm not even in any of the paint sculpture or anything. And if I hover over it, it's just selecting everything. But they are telling me to go to not gadgets. They are saying, okay, modes. They're telling me to go to coat mode, select a color. Oh, L1 and X. Okay, let me get the right color real quick. I thought they meant scope by scope in and press it. L1 and X. Ah, you just solved the riddle. Lucid Stew is freaking awesome. He's a genius, I tell you. I was messing with the music thing, Um, last time I played this, it's pretty impressive what you can do. We need green shoes. I have green and red shoes. Let's see. Now the boobs, you don't attach them, you going to sculpt them into the chest part. To scope in the chest and make boobs. Okay. Can I erase these? Okay, let's go sculpt mode. L1, X. Okay, we're. Oh crap. I thought the lefty thing where you can just erase stuff. Okay, so we need circles. Red circles. Scale down. I don't know if I like this though. I don't know if I like scope mode because I can't see what colors. Oops. He got a boob stuck in his head. Dang, you gotta just quickly tap it or something. Crap. Gee, I'm barely tapping that thing. That's. Okay. Scope in the chest and make boobs. That's hard on this. Um, like I just want to place two. Can you just place two circles and attach? Or does it, like if I'm using this mode, I press it to sculpt. It's kind of just like going all over like this. Stamp. Okay. What is that under? Far left upper row. I'll stay on this menu till you direct me. I don't want to get lost. I scoped out. It looks. I'm still scoped in, ain't I? I forgot where stamp is. Stamp. Yes. Okay, stamp. Sphere. Where did they not have a plain circle on here? You know how I am about my primitives. We need plain circle. Okay, change this to red. Then we're gonna stamp the tramp. See, I don't know the scope thing. I don't know about this. This looks so hard to make a character on. Oops. She might have 3 boobs. She'll be like that chick from, what's that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Total Recall. Yes. That's gonna be hard to. Okay, like here's why I'm complaining a little bit. You can't see. You can't hardly see your character to sculpt stuff on them. I'm just like getting into this puppet part, so maybe a lot of my complaints aren't probably justified because I still don't know stuff. Scope out of the character. Oh, scope out. Scope out was scope in was L1 and X. Scope out should be L1 and circle. Yes. Oh, okay. So migrate. Wait, that's where we were stuck before. We can't attach. We can't attach the breasts. Let's see if they're attached. Yes, it worked. Lucid Stu, you're a genius. Okay, scope. Okay, I see now. We need. Why they stick out so far? This is not my idea. This is John Thomas's idea to put boobs in here. Um, I am not deleting that. I'm very proud of that. This is just learning from a test. Um, are there like different attachments like on Project Spark? Why are why are the boobs floating everywhere? Like is there like chest joints, arm joints, forearms, and all that stuff, or is it just put something on there and hope it sticks? No, you don't see. Delete the boobs I'm telling you yes, but you're doing it wrong. Okay. Delete. Crap. Come back. Okay. They're they have been removed. Modes. Okay, I'm stopped. Here, hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna put this to where I can see chat on the TV. Crap. Okay, hold on. There, that's better. That's way easier than looking at my phone for chat. Oh, highlight chess mode. Highlight the chess sculpt. Scope into it. Ah. Ah. Those don't look right. I'm gonna name this Dreams Tutorial How to Make Boobs. Of course, that's the first thing I make. Oh, they're not even close to it. Hmm. How can I zoom in and try to get detailed? Like, I want to zoom in here and make it perfect. Hit L1 square to edit the tool. That's me vaping. Turn up soft tool. Hard, blend, loose, grip. There's hard blend. Blend amount. Turn. You mean turn this up or down? I just see hard blend. Okay, I unclicked it. Turn up blend amount. Make them bounce. Nice. Um, Turn up blend amount. Like halfway or full? Bouncing would be better. For sure. Halfway. Okay, exit. So here's what I don't like is I want to zoom in and get it perfect, but my emp is back here. If I hold the start button, he comes a little forward, but not that much forward. I had to like come out here. I don't know what the fix is for that. So I definitely don't want to sculpt stuff like way out here. Hold R2 to zoom in on your cursor. Hold that R2. Nope. I'll hold an R2 now. If I press R2 and up on the analog stick, it doesn't do anything. Oh, R1? Okay. Oh wait, I was pressing L1. Oh, yes. Yes, okay, perfect. That's 100 times better, thank you. Oh yeah, not big enough. Is that what the soft blend does? I like I like that. I do like that soft blend stuff. That's crooked. They have to be perfect lucids too. My character has enormous, perfectly formed. See, I'm not the only one. We're not the only one making boobs on here. I thought I was the only one, but I wasn't. Hey, during the stream, pretty sure I'll have time. I'll go into after this tutorial. I'll go into check out your games on here. Those are good enough boobs, I would call them. No, that one's sticking out. There we go. Oh, he's making them right now. They kind of has some space in between, but that's okay. Dude, you know what I'm gonna make on here? Whenever I master the puppet stuff, I'm totally making Skeletor and Castle Grayskull and Masters of the Universe. I'm gonna test these puppies out. Wait, how do I make them bounce? Or do they just do it automatically? That looks pretty good, if I do say so ourselves. Yeah, so that's my problem is not being in. How to get back to that mode? L1X. Try and go back into scope mode. Oh, you have to. Okay, so it has to be on the sculpture to scope on what you're doing. I get it. Okay, so that was my problem. I was not in scope mode. So to get in it, you hold L1 and press X. To get out, you hold L1, press 0. Let's test. Yes. That's awesome. To get them to bounce, highlight the chest and hit L1 square. Oh, this tutorial's in my way. Okay. Are these separate objects or? Yes, John Thomas, you should get a PS4 so you can play our games. Wait, John Thomas, wait till you see Lucid Stew stuff. It's pretty cool. Go to physical properties. Okay. Squashing. Collidable. Friction. Bouncing. Squashiness. Okay. X. About how high? I'm at 50%. Oh, all the way. Nice. That should work on both of them, I'm assuming. Oh, yeah, because this is all one piece now. He's never made boobs. Sony, please, Sony, don't kick me off PSN. There is a shirt over these boobs. Okay, we're gonna test boob test number 1. No effect. Okay, I'm just gonna see while you're looking, I'm gonna see what happens with bouncing this up all the way. Nope. Put bouncing back to 50. Lucid Studio's working on bouncing boobs. If you're tuning in, we're working on how to make bouncing boobs in dreams. We've made the boobs. We just need them to bounce. A lot. Oh, yeah, I never thought about boobs so much. Hold on, I'm gonna let my dog out real quick. Okay, he's still working on his boobs. This is our, we still have, floating boobs there. We have a nice, girly cabinet crap. Oh, I found a bug. We're stuck. What is this, the Division or something? Come on. Gather. I love the Division. I meant the first Division. Get out of there. Let's delete these. John Thomas says, sorry Sony, we are adult. We can have help ourselves. We can't help ourselves. I know, because that's the first thing people make in dreams is boobs and flying penises or something. I'm sure it's all curated and stuff, but for real though, if you make like on Project Spark, people made, I forgot the name of the games they made, but it was like Leisure Suit Larry, sort of. So people do make stuff like this. So um, I mean, probably not as big boobs, but to make a more realistic figures, you're gonna have to take this puppet and sculpt it however you want, and you want to make it look human. So of course you do actually need to learn how to make boobs. We're just over exaggerating the boobs right now. Like when I make He-Man figures, I'm gonna have to do like all the muscles and all that stuff. So with Project Spark, people made and published dicks. That's probably one of them. I think I made a flying dick spaceship or something. Actually, I did. I remember it now. It's on my YouTube. I can't wait to learn how to do cameras and stuff. I'm still learning, like, I'm not going to start a project until I learn more, so I'm just learning a little bit at a time through these tutorials and stuff, and then, like, I still don't know how to do the cameras, put a camera on a mover and all that stuff. But first things first, we must figure out boobs. Why is there a headlight coming out of her boob? Look, I've already made the best game ever. We'll call it booby physics. One thing I don't like is like when I see a lot of people make characters when they're running, they lean. It looks like they haven't had a V8 or something. Okay, figured out the problem. Squashiness only works when it comes into contact with something. Oh, okay. Let's see. You can turn down the puppet options. What do you mean turn down the puppet options? Oh, you're talking about the leaning thing, I guess. Don't worry about typos, I'll know what you're talking about if I see it. So the leaning thing is, you can fix that in the puppet options. Okay, cool. That's good. Because I was looking at a lot of people's characters and they're all doing that leaning thing. So that's good news. Man, if they, when this thing gets VR support or whatever, if they, with the new Sony VR controllers that'll come out, if they let us sculpt assets in virtual reality on here, you can get so pinpoint accurate in virtual reality. It's like you're holding pencils or actually sculpting with your hands or something. It's hard to describe, but it's very cool. If you look at Medium and stuff, you should see what people have made on there. I've tried it and it works super good. All Sony needs is like the better motion controls. John Thomas. We gotta learn how to make women, don't worry. We've made part of the woman, or two very important parts of women we've created. We just need them to bounce. So, wait, he said if it hits an object, it'll... Let's see if it bounces when it hits us. This is not a solid object. Hold on, let's see if I can place an object in here. Long yellow hair. Okay. So would we sculpt again, I guess? Oh, collidable. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's see if we can turn on collidable. Okay. Scope in on this. Collidable. That would be... collision. No. Oh my god, there's so much stuff on here. Like, there's lots to learn on this game. Um, hey, do a research for realism female sculpt. I don't have anything where I can search. I don't have any internet-ish stuff. How do I, turn off or on collidable? Or would that be my whole puppet is collidable? I wonder. Let us see. You just figured out that you can use your keyboard to type through PS4 Remote Play? I don't even know what Remote Remote Play is. Oh, is that where you can stream your PlayStation to your computer? Okay, just the chest sculpt and physical properties. It's right by squishiness. Gotcha. So that is on this. Wait, no. Density, friction, collidable. We went that all the way to the right. Oh, it's just a button press. Okay. Yeah, no one likes to type on controllers. I would have to make these things collidable too, because you just walk through them. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, so this... Is this menu still for this? Okay. Let's put a new object in here. Like, we could have took 2 eyeballs. That's what we did in Project Spark. That's how we made boobs in Project Spark. We took 2 eyeballs and put them right next to each other and attach them to the character. This is a lot more in depth. There has to be a way to do this because Beavis 2 made a character with a giggly butt. We must find a way. Why am I on Sculpt? Tools. How do I go into this thing's properties? Oh, wait, do I need a circuit thing for it? This should have properties somehow. I forgot how to do it. This is all jiggly too. Everything's jiggly now. Let's make sure. Okay, hold on. I hope everyone's getting educated on this stream. Let's just see if it's automatically collidable. Yeah, I just walked through it. Maybe that's part of the tutorial. I bet that's part of the tutorial. I'm gonna keep going with the tutorial, actually. Because everything's collidable, I'm sure they'll tell us, I'm sure they'll say why it's colliding and stuff, so let's play the video.
It's the texture of your puppet. If you don't know how to use style mode, there's an art tutorial which can help you. In the next step, we'll dive into the dressing up box.
Dressing up.
One of the simplest ways to customize a puppet is by adding accessories. But to make sure they move with the puppet, we need to group them with a body part. Before we do that, it's important to fully understand the concept of scoping in and out of groups and objects. If you've played part 4 of the Start Dreaming tutorials, then you'll already know a thing or two about using groups. Objects in dreams are often combined into groups, which can be treated like a single object in assembly mode. Groups themselves can also be grouped. This means that you can have groups nested inside other groups. Let's try scoping in and out of something else before we invade the puppet's personal space.
We just invaded
Over
the
there
personal
on the floor
space.
is a hat box. Make sure you're in edit mode. Now try taking the lid off the hat box. The whole box will move because the lid, the box, and its contents have been grouped. Undo the move with the left directional button to put it back in its place. Now scope into the group. Hover over the hat box, press and hold L1 and press X. Everything but the box should go grey and blurry. If not, make sure your visual feedback preference is set to all. This shows that you've scoped into the group and can edit its contents. Now you should be able to take the lid off the hat box. Inside is another hat box.
Oops.
Try taking the lid off this one. I think you can guess what will happen. This smaller hat box is also grouped with its lid and contents. Remove the smaller box and place it next to the large one. Now scope into this group by holding L1 and pressing X over the smaller hat box. The original hat box will go grey and blurry as we've scoped into a subgroup. Now you should be able to open the smaller hat box. What's inside? A lovely hat.
Yes.
Take it out and place it next to the smaller box. When you've done that, proceed to the next step.
We got awesome hat now.
Now that we've taken the hat out of the box, let's try putting it on our puppet. First, we need to scope out of this group. To do that, simply hold L1 and press circle. That takes us back
Oops.
into the large hat box group. Now scope out again
What'd I
into
do?
the main scene by holding L1 and pressing circle. Pick up the hat. Ah, we seem to have a bit of a problem here.
Yeah,
The
we
hat
do.
is still inside the nested groups, even though it's outside the hat box. When you scope in and out, only you and your imp are moving in and out of objects or groups. Unless you're carrying something with you. Scope back into the large hat box group, and then into the smaller hat box group to get the hat. Now grab and hold the hat with R2, and scope out of both groups with L1 and circle while holding the hat.
That's a lot of buttons.
If you've done it correctly, you should be back in the main scene. With a hat you can now move independently of the boxes. That's because scoping in and out of a group whilst holding an object adds or removes it from that group. Hurrah! Now we can put it on the puppet. Grab the hat, hover over the puppet, then hold L1 and press X to scope into the puppet with the hat. Now scope into the puppet's head while still holding the hat. This is a shortcut for grouping two objects if you're already grabbing one of them. Simply grab an object and scope into another object to group them automatically without having to select them. The same way that scoping into a grouping two...
I wasn't paying attention.
Now scope into the puppet's head while still holding the hat. This is a shortcut for grouping two objects if you're already grabbing one of them.
Wait, how do
Simply grab an
I
object,
scope and do that at
two
the same time?
objects if you're already grabbing one of them. Simply grab an object and scope into another object to group them automatically without having to select them. The same way that scoping into a group while holding an object adds it to the group. Now that it's in a group with the head, place the hat where you want it. Remember to check it from different angles using the...
What'd I do? I'll watch one more time.
Without having to select them. The same way that scoping into a group while holding an object adds it to the group. Now that it's in a group with the head, place the hat where you want it. Remember to check it from different angles using the grab cam to make sure it's in position. Press R2 softly to nudge if you need to make fine adjustments to the position of the hat.
With R2 still pressed, highlight the head and press L1. Wait, if I hold R2 here and then press L1 and X? If I let go of R2, I let go of the hat. I'm really confused. I'm rewinding far back. Let's go back to this one.
Without having to select them. The same way that scoping into a group while holding an object adds it to the group. Now that it's in a group with the head, place the hat where you want it. Remember to check it from different angles using
no, I'm not in the group with the head yet. Go back further.
Without grouping two objects if you
Okay, here we go.
Now,
one more.
Now we can put it on the puppet. Grab the hat, hover over the puppet, then hold L1 and press X to scope into the puppet with the hat. Now scope into the puppet's head while still holding the hat. Now scope into the puppet's head. That's because scoping in and out of a group whilst holding an object adds or removes it from that group.
It's still in the hat box.
Hurrah! Now
no,
we
it's
can
out of
put
it.
it on the puppet. Grab the hat, hover over the puppet, then hold L1 and press X to scope into the puppet with the hat.
Hold L1 and press... Oh, L1 and X add to group. Okay. You gotta watch and see if it's highlighted. See, I just pressed it like up here and it wasn't highlighted. If I go down a little bit, it's highlighted, so now it should be in the group.
Now scope into the puppet's head while still holding the hat. This is a shortcut for grouping two objects if you're already grabbing one of them. Simply grab an object and scope into another object to group them automatically without having to select them.
I get it.
The same way that scoping into a group while holding an object adds it to the group. Now that it's in a group with the head, place the hat where you want it.
That looks good.
Remember to check it from different angles using the grab cam to make sure it's in position. Press R2 softly to nudge if you need to make fine adjustments to the position of the hat.
I think we got it.
Before you move on, you should try out the puppet to
Yes, let's try it.
walk around with its new accessory. Switch to play mode, possess it with R2, and take it for a wander.
Okay, nothing works anymore.
Nice. When you're ready to
What's
continue,
going on?
go back to edit mode. Going to play mode and back to edit mode will scope you out of any group.
Okay.
Remember to rewind time with L3 to get your puppet back in position. Then go to the next step.
I can't even control him now. What the hell? Oh wait, there's still hats attached to it. John Thomas is right. Or whoever said that was right. Um, get back over there. I thought we'd... Can I just delete these? No. Okay. How'd I reverse that though? I thought we detached those hat boxes. You hate Moscow? Oh, you hate Microsoft. I don't hate Microsoft, I just don't like Phil Spencer at all. Okay, so we got to... I wonder how I undo something that I did. Remove from group. Oops. No! Okay, I don't know what I pressed, but it did remove that, so the problem where I just messed up is I didn't totally remove this hat from that group. I think someone did say that in the chat. So now we are going to hover over this. Now it's a, what is going on? It's like not in the group, but if I... Okay. I don't want to add it to the boobs. Do we get to choose... Is it it's choosing different parts. We want the head. It's not letting me do the head though, is the problem here. Like I can attach it to here. Okay, it's not attached to that other crap. Can you imagine 40 years from now when people are spamming your neural implant? That's going to be so freaking annoying. I know, right? It's not bad enough they advertise their games on my desktop, but I also have to receive Xbox Live spam there too. I hear you. Every time I turn on my Xbox, buy Game Pass. Fucking hate Game Pass. I get to see Major Nelson's face and buy Game Pass every time I turn on my Xbox. It's not attached to the head. It's attached to the boobs. But at least we got it unattached to the other thing. Okay, I removed it from group, so... Okay, there's the head. I can't grab that hat. Okay, if we grab the hat though, and we want to attach it to the head, that might be right. Okay, I think we got it. That should be the head. We shall see. The hell? Google, will you give your neural implant for me to sucker you into a letter out world of ads? I want this on his head. It's attached to him. Zoom in on hat. Grab hat. Remove from group. Problem is, I can't get it. Like, it's attaching to something on him, I just don't know what. They said to hold L2. It says add a group here, but if I do that, you'll see everything is highlighted. I want just the head. The head is scoped to the character. You need to scope it to the head. Have a good day, John Thomas, the gamer. How does one scope to the head? It said put the hat on over it, but I can't do that if I press add to group. It's adding to everything. But if I do this, then I can't adjust the hat. I'm gonna watch the tutorial again.
One of the simplest
The
ways
hat
to
tutorial.
customize a puppet is by adding accessories. But to make sure they move with the puppet, we need to group them with a body part. Before we do that, it's important to fully understand the concept of scoping in and out of groups and objects. If you've played part 4 of the Start Dreaming tutorials, then you'll already know a thing or two about using groups. Objects in dreams are often combined into groups, which can be treated like a single object in assembly mode. Groups themselves can also be grouped. This means that you can have groups nested inside other groups. Let's try scoping in and out of something else before we invade the puppet's personal space.
Personal space.
Over there on the floor is a hat box. Make sure you're in edit mode. Now try taking the lid off the hat box. The whole box will move because the lid, the box, and its contents have been grouped. Undo the move with the left directional button to put it back in its place. Now scope into the group. Hover over the hat box, press and hold L1 and press X. Everything but the box should go grey and blurry. If not, make sure your visual feedback preference is set to all. This shows that you've scoped into the group and can edit its contents. Now you should be able to take the lid off the hat box. Inside is another hat box. Try taking the lid off this one. I think you can guess what will happen. This smaller hat box is also grouped with its lid and contents. remove the smaller box and
God dang it, I didn't mean to skip to the end.
another way of customizing your puppet's appearance is by changing if you an or puppet to tint it with your selected color.
Whoops.
One of the simplest ways to customize a puppet is by adding accessories. Listed in over there on the whole button. This shows that
Keep going.
the
Okay,
when
here's
you've
the head.
done that, proceed to the next step.
Oh, okay.
Now that we've taken the hat out of the box, let's try putting it on our puppet.
Okay.
First, we need to scope out of this group. To
Done.
do that, simply hold L1 and press circle. That takes us back into the large hatbox group. Now scope out again into the main scene by holding L1 and pressing circle. Pick up the hat. Ah, we seem to have a bit of a problem here. The hat is still inside the nested groups, even though it's outside the hatbox. When you scope in and out, only you and your imp are moving in and out of objects or groups. Unless you're carrying something with you. Scope back into the large hatbox group, and then into the smaller hatbox group to get the hat. Now grab and hold the hat with R2, and scope out of both groups with L1 and circle while holding the hat.
Okay, this is where we're at.
If you've done it correctly, you should be back in the main scene. With
Yes.
the hat you can now move independently of the boxes. That's because scoping in and out of a group whilst holding an object adds or removes it from that group. Hurrah! Now we can put it on the puppet. Grab the hat, hover over the puppet, then hold L1 and press X to scope into the puppet with the hat.
Hold over it, L1, X. It didn't let me. Oh, I put it in front of it. I put it down here, it wouldn't let me do it up here, but if you put it in front of them, it let me do it.
Now scope into the puppet's head while still holding the hat. This is a shortcut for grouping two objects if you're
Wait.
already grabbing one of them. Simply grab an object and scope into another object to
There we
group
go.
them automatically without having to select them. The
I've
same way that
I've
scoping
seen
into
the
a
light.
group while holding an object adds it to the group. Now that it's in a group with the head, place the hat where you want it. Remember to check it from different angles using the grab cam to make sure it's in position. Press R2 softly to nudge if you need to make fine adjustments to the position of the hat.
We got it, I think. Yes.
Before you move on, you should try out the puppet to see it walk around with its new accessory.
We did
Switch
it.
to play mode, possess it with R2,
By God,
and
we did it.
take it for a wander.
Yeah, there's
Nice.
the tutorials
When
are
you're ready
actually
to
pretty good.
Continue, go back to edit mode. Going to play mode and back to edit mode will scope you out of any groups. Remember to rewind time with L3 to get your puppet back in position. Then go to the next step.
So far, so good.
Okay, let's add some more accessories before our puppet's stage debut. Open the assembly menu and select Search, the button with the magnifying glass. To search.
That's basically equivalent to attach points to Project Spark. Yeah, I kind of get it now. But do they have like elbow joints? Let me look. Oops, that's not good. They don't have elbows. They have hands, forearms, arms, torso, abs, crotch, or whatever you want to call that. They don't have knees. Do they have knees? They don't have knees. We need more joints. Hopefully they give us more joints with these puppets. Because I would definitely want elbows and knees. Oh, they do have all that? Okay.
Search for an element. Usually, you'd be in the Dreamiverse here, but for this tutorial, I've kept things simple and curated a collection of elements for you to use.
Oh, crap.
Take a look at some of the simple and curated a collection of elements for you to use. Take a look at some of the accessories in the collection. Select one you like with X. You'll now have your chosen accessory on your imp. Don't stamp it down yet though. First we need to scope into the puppet.
What is this?
You can do this even when you have an element from the Dreamiverse on your imp. Scope in with L1 and X, and then scope into the body part that you want to attach it to. If that body part is already in its own group, you'll enter that group. But if the body part is just a sculpture, then you'll create a new group when you stamp the object down. Once the accessory is in the group, you can adjust the accessory while you're there.
This is hard.
Try adding some more accessories from the collection. Then it's important to test the puppet in play mode, to check that the accessory is attached correctly.
I get the nose go down. There we go.
Here's another very important tip. If you ever want to remove an accessory, whatever you do, don't ungroup the body part. If you do that, you'll delete that group's connection to the puppet. And without the connector, your puppet's limbs will start falling off when you go into play mode. And nobody wants that. Instead, scope into the group containing the body part and the accessory. Then either delete the accessory or grab it and scope out.
Do they have snap or
something? If there's only one object left in the group, it'll automatically ungroup, and the connector will remain safely connected to the remaining object.
If you open the character menu with L1 square, you can see the attached points of the body. Okay, let me get this nose on here. Don't really look like a nose, but good enough. Okay, let me try that. I'm not playing Uncharted today. I gotta actually DJ tonight, so I won't be on here a lot longer, but maybe Saturday or Sunday I might get called in Saturday, so maybe Sunday. I only have Uncharted 4 though. Okay, if you open the character menu with L1 square, you can see the attached body and the structure tab. Oh, scope out first, okay. Structure tab. Fourth from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, body structure. Oh, I see. So we got head, neck, torso, ab, crotch, thigh, knee, lower leg, foot. Or is this an ankle? Oh, it says it right there. Heel, calf, thigh, pelvis. That's the word I was thinking. Belly, chest. See, there's no elbow, so right upper arm, right forearm, hand. There's no elbows. Let's see if there's a knee. Right thigh, right calf, heel. There's no knees or elbows. We need knees and elbows. It's just my feedback. Okay, what were we doing? Oh. The ankle bone's connected to the leg bone. The leg bone's connected to the pelvis bone. Like you scope into an upper arm, the shoulder and elbow are. Why is shit on kaleidoscope? um, I don't understand that yet. I'll figure that out later.
Play around with the things you've learned in this tutorial and have fun making a character. When you're happy, select the star podium from the tutorial collection and stamp it down in the outline that we've put in the scene for you. Then head back into play mode, jump onto the podium and see what Connie thinks of your creation.
Connie better like it. That's all I got to say. See you later. I'm gonna end stream. That was a good tutorial. Thanks for helping too. I appreciate it. We did it. We made Boob Person with the nose. We did everything we wanted. Yay! Check me out. We did it! Yay! I think we should share that character in the with other people, don't you? Ow, stop. That hurt. Hold on, let's go to one of Lucid Stew's games. Oh, we need to do advanced sometime. Not today though. How do we browse our friends? Dream surfing. We leveled up. Yay. We're level 12. Dreamers. Who are all these people? Who are you? Look at that person. Look, that imp looks like Oscar the Grouch. They should add a friends thing on here. Do I have to... Do we gotta type in their names? They should add a following. They probably have it on here. Lucid Dreams. See, how do I find you? I don't know how to find you. Let's just see what this looks like. What time is it? It's time to get ill. Oh, I like that character. See, she's all sideways and crap too. Whoa, that was cool. I must be dreaming. Oh, I like the music. Go into the nether. Let's try to get to door. Crap. What's in here? Oh, nice. How did I get here? It was all a dream. What's that? I collect... No! We're stuck. We're stuck. Do I had the hair? Okay. we'll go back to that one another time. Okay, I end the stream. We learn how to make boob person, so that's good. Okay, later.